to the Unstoppable Pursuit Show, where we're the brand that's pushing the limits in business, life, and health. I may have to do that over. It's episode 39, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Wednesday, and I thought, hey, usually we're on Thursday, so maybe that's why I messed that up. Today, we're talking about genius in simplicity. I'm Brian Benson, and next to me, well, if he was the eighth dwarf, he would be called bulky, Mike Stull. He wrote a book called Dominate Your Day. Check it out very soon at unstoppablepursuit.com. It will be for sale, but for now you can check it out at his website, michaelstull.com. But check us out at our website, unstoppablepursuit.com.
Get some water in.
Not doing good today.
It's all right.
Just read.
All right, let's rock and roll. It's a beautiful thing when you start your days from a place of strength and gratitude. It will literally change your entire day and your perspective. When you wake up and believe you have all that you need, both physically and mentally, to get through the day, you will. Gratitude is something that adds a protective shield around your thought process, making it hard for negativity to enter. Be thankful every morning you wake up, you are breathing, you have something to accomplish today. When you wake up with gratitude, your back is not against the wall. You are standing on a platform in a place of strength, overlooking your day with a smile, knowing it's going to work out the way it should. Know you will also go to bed later that night feeling both accomplished and fulfilled.
Love it, man. You know, I gotta spend more time getting back into that whole gratitude. I mean, I do a lot, but I used to be, it was every day, every morning, but I've been so busy lately. I need to take that time because I think it is very, very important to express your gratitude for the friends, the family, the people in your life, and the things that you just have. You know, once you realize you're so grateful for everything you have, like everything else is just cherry on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I need to get back into it too. And actually, I was just talking to Lindsay about that the other day, that I need to get back into reading. And I have been consistently reading my devotionals in the morning.
Yeah.
And just getting those in because I feel better throughout the day. You know, like just changing our perspective, being a glass half full type of person where, you know, focusing on what you do have, not on what you don't have, and then really your perspective changes to gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thankful. I have everything I need.
Exactly. All right. This is Genius in Simplicity. These are some principles to live by. These are some success habits, some really good information that we found that we're going to be discussing today. So we're going to just dive right in. And you are the only one responsible for your success. If that is not the truest statement, I don't know what is. I mean, you are the only one, because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to be like, this is it. Me against myself every day. Like, and that's the only thing. You can pray, you can hope, you can wish that other people are going to do things for you and things are going to fall into your lap, and maybe the harder you work, the more luck you'll see, which is true, but like, you cannot depend on anybody else. And I say that with, okay, there are people you can depend on to a certain degree, but I'm telling you, for your success.
Can you depend on me, Brian?
I can depend on you, Mike. But that's just, but you know what I mean. Like, even when we're helping each other so much, I still have to do all the things that I need to do to be successful and to feel fulfilled. Because although you and I have a very same vision towards success, we still have different definitions to a certain degree, you know? So you gotta have that for yourself, and you have to go get it for yourself.
Yeah, I always struggled in the past. Like, I was thinking about these topics, and for this first one, I'm like, I always personally struggled with group projects, like especially in college, because I remember I was always the one to take the lead. Because
I was always the one to let other people do it.
You were always that dude where I'm like, what a pain in the ass to do a group.
Benson in my
Why don't I just do it by myself? Because Benson isn't going to do shit. You know what I mean? But no, in college, and that was the case. Yeah, you know, first step is not being in denial, Brian. But you're not like that anymore. But in college, though, I hated group projects because typically I was the one that took the leadership role. Because I wanted to get it done, I knew that if I did it, it would get done the right way, it would get done on time. And part of that's probably being a control freak a little bit. But at the same time, they put you in a group with people you didn't know, and I struggle with that because I'm like, I don't want to depend on you, whoever that person may be, to get the job done when I know I can do it, you know? But then So I became a one-man wrecking crew to a certain extent, but then I was on the basketball team. You have to trust your teammates, and the example I want to give is for this. I have down, unless you can trust a teammate. Like, you're a good example where we both have our separate things that we delegate to each other that we need to do in order for this podcast and in our Unstoppable Pursuit brand as a whole to succeed. But at the same time, like, I do trust you to do the things that I know I could do, but I also know you could do too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things that you could do better than me, and I don't try to do those things. So I think that this is true to a certain extent, but there are situations like ours, for example, right now where, you know what, I'm not the one that's only responsible for success because I am depending on you for certain things, but you truly have to have a trust for that, you know? But at the same time, I'm solely responsible for the things that we've delegated to me. I am responsible for those to be successful.
Yeah, and I the whole team thing makes so much sense because, like, but in your role, you have to be as successful as possible. When, like, maybe you're like the LeBron James of a certain area, like the social media, which I'm not, but if I'm not Kyrie Irving, like, playing my best and doing what I need to do, delegating the ball to you or whatever, like, then it won't be successful anyway. So for me to be successful, I always, no matter what role you're in the team, like, you have to be wanting to be the best in that role. Like, everybody plays a role, you know, and everybody has to be the best and the most successful in their own role in the team game. But it still goes back to like, you're the only one responsible for it. So.
And in health and wellness too, before we go to our second topic, let's say I hire a personal trainer. Listen, my trainer will be there to tell me what to do, but ultimately I'm the one that is responsible for my success getting back into shape. My trainer could do 1,000 push-ups in front of me. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help my physique, you know what I mean? So I'm responsible. I know. I wish I could watch someone working out and be like, wow, like, I'm getting a pump from just watching them, you know what I mean? But it doesn't work that way. I am responsible for my own success in the gym. I could teach 1 million people how to eat right, lead a horse to water, can't force it to drink. They are responsible for their own success when they leave. I can't dictate what they put in their mouth when they go home as far as food. That's up to them. So there's an accountability factor to it.
That's a great point, Mike. That's a great point.
Next topic of choice is that you don't have to invent the wheel. And what we mean by this is, it doesn't necessarily, this is the way I interpret it, is that it doesn't have to be an original idea. Like, radio's been around forever. Vehicles have been around forever. There's all these things that have been around forever, but people come in and they disrupt that particular industry. They make it better. They add something to it. They take something out. They put their own twist, their own delivery on things. So it's like, yeah, you didn't invent the wheel, but that doesn't, like, I'll take this literal. You didn't invent the wheel, but it doesn't mean that you can't come out with your own line of custom, really high-end rims that Rolls-Royce likes to put on their vehicles now, or BMW is now buying from you because you make the best wheels in the world. You didn't invent the wheel, but you made it better. So it's like putting your own twist on things. Like, that's why we name this Genius and Simplicity, because the example that I always give, and I think I've said this before in a previous podcast, is on Shark Tank. A woman went on there. She had an old-fashioned broom with bristles. Like, it wasn't a fancy broom. It was like it was probably like $2.99 from Walmart. And what she did is she hollowed out the inside of the handle, put a piece of tubing going through it, and then when you pushed it down, a little scraper came out of the bristles to scrape gum or whatever gunk is stuck on your floor, and then you could pull it back up. She didn't invent the broom, so she made it better, and now she's a multimillionaire. So that's my example for this particular topic.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many things to be disrupted and for you to change. Like, Mike and I always talk about this, especially in all these, like, new brands and people that are popping up and things. Like, dude, these people are, like, we talk about the supplement world. It's like, dude, how many people are coming out with new supplements? But supplements have been around for how many years, you know?
Right.
It's all the spin you put on it. It's who you are as a person, and it's how you, like, treat people and build your brand. I mean, and that's what it is. Like, you don't have to invent the wheel. Like, even Mark Zuckerberg didn't invent the wheel. Shout out to Zucks for Facebook Live, brother. Hit us up on a podcast. But he. But, there was Friendster and MySpace out there before that. Like, he just made a better freaking wheel. Like, but he didn't feel like he needed to do something so, like, that wasn't existing, you know? I think that people do create things that don't exist. Like, I mean, the iPhone, like, that never existed. Like, and he created that. But there's some things that you need to be simplistic about it. What can you do in your business or in your daily life to put the PVC piping through the broom with the thing, with the scraper on the bottom?
And you brought up Uber.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't.
They're a great example, is why I bring it up.
Well, they didn't even do anything that was so crazy. Literally, like, maps, like satellite maps existed, so they just overlaid that on a, you know, pay through your phone system, and boom, you have Uber, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Right. Yeah, that, like, taxi cabs already existed. That was already a business, picking people up and dropping them off.
They laid over a map system on a payment system. Now you have Uber. Welcome to the genius. But they didn't invent the freaking wheel. They didn't do something that was so crazy.
Right.
I mean, they literally, people were picking people up and paying for rides all the time.
Right.
All they did was just make the system easier. Simplicity, baby, simplicity.
That's right, and I'm going to use our podcast as an example and our brand as a whole too. I mean, we're not the first podcast, you know, to ever get on the iTunes platform. There's
we're the
plenty
best
of podcasts.
podcast.
Yeah, we're the best. But my point is, we're putting a little twist on our podcast by combining business, life, and health and putting everything in so that this is a one-stop shop for the people that are listening and watching, that you can come here and we blend it all together, 360, work hard, play hard. So that's our goal with this podcast, is that we're not like other podcasts. We're trying to give you a little bit of everything so that you leave our segments feeling well-rounded, you feel confident, you know, that you can go out and do what it is you want to do. And really the main point for this topic is, for those that are listening or watching, don't be discouraged that your idea is stupid or that your product or service or whatever it is. We're telling you right now, if you have something, give it a shot. You know, Jim Carrey, I just stumbled across a quote from him today. Jim Carrey saying, listen, you could fail really bad in your cubicle. You could fail really bad working for a 9-to-5 that you hate. Why not at least give it a try for what you love? And let's say you failed at that, you fail forward, at least you failed forward doing something that you love. You know,
so
like,
true,
don't
dude.
have that regret. So if you are listening, like, don't feel you need to reinvent the wheel.
No, I know. And Mike and I, when we started this thing, we kind of sat around going, wow, there's like 1 million podcasts out there. There's a lot of YouTube shows out there. There's a lot, but like, that didn't deter us at all. We were just like, we're just going to do it slightly differently and have a lot of fun doing it. And we love this. We freaking love this. Like, I can't even explain how much we love doing this. And we love you guys. So.
And I want to give a quick shout out too. Brian brought up supplements. If you guys have ever heard of Ghost Lifestyle, shout out to Daniel Lorenko. He hit us up on one of our feeds. Check out Ghost Lifestyle. They're an awesome company, 360, work hard, play hard, blending the lifestyle of you can be healthy and enjoy life at the same time. But long story short, with Ghost, like, their supplements have been around forever, but Ghost has like really unique labels. They have an awesome system that when you take the lid off of their products, the scooper is actually not in the powder. The scooper is attached to a little hook on the inside, so it's never lost. It's right at the top.
Nice.
You know, they have great marketing. So Ghost is a great example of, they didn't reinvent supplements. They're just not doing proprietary blends. They are doing a full disclosure on their label. Their labels are cool, their colors, everything. Like, they have unique people that are ambassadors for their company. So I just want to give a shout out to Ghost on that.
Shout out Ghost, and we love the graffiti style, like your art. We can tell they put a lot of love and care into everything that they do, and that really excites me. They're not just slapping labels on there and shipping it.
Exactly.
They're like putting a lot of time and effort into what they do.
We dig the transparency, so that's good.
Love it. All right. There is no progress without action. And that's me. Dude, I say this all the time. The first 3 letters of the word action are ACT. A-C-T. You have got to take action. And this is how I frame this. There's idea, there's action, and then there's execution. But what bridges the gap between idea and execution is the action that you take.
Yeah.
And I am such a firm believer in that. So whatever it is you do, it doesn't even need to be perfect. Like when you and I started, seriously, I don't care. Go back and watch Mike and I's first episodes. Like you guys will like laugh.
So
we
funny.
laugh. We think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
but
talk about a growth process.
Go back and look at them because, dude, we were not good. We had no idea what we were doing. Sometimes the audio got screwed up. Sometimes the video got screwed up. Like we didn't always, always have it together. But you know what? We were taking action. Now I can't even believe it. But we're going to be on 40 episodes.
Yeah.
We're crushing our downloads from the month before. Like we're really excited. So if you guys don't think you can, like, go back and watch our stuff. You can, trust me, but you will not know. Like, you'll be able to see there's no progress without action. Now you'll be able to go back and be like, whoa, dude, we've made some serious progress.
Right.
And you can measure that, and you can look at that, and then you can celebrate that, which will bring some more positivity and keep you moving forward. But take action.
And if you guys happen to watch our promotional video from last week's episode, you would hear me in there saying one of my things is just go ahead and do it, Michael. That's what I was telling my younger self from 10 years ago. And it's because in the past I always felt like I needed to have a full grasp on everything before I started. But a prime example was Brian and I, like you said, we didn't really know what we were doing when we decided to start this brand and this podcast in general. We kind of just said, you know what, let's say yes to this opportunity in front of us, and let's figure it out along the way. Let's just take action. We may screw it up, but at least we're taking action, and that's the most important thing. And we have screwed it up, Again, go back and watch our first 4 or 5 episodes, which are up on our website, unstoppablepursuit.com. Everything's going to be on our website. But the main point I want to make, too, is with Brian saying there's no progress without action, it's awesome to have motivation. And Brian and I talk about motivation a lot. We obviously want to motivate you guys, but motivation is nothing without the action. And we talked about this before we went live on this segment, is that you really have to be disciplined. Motivation is only so much, but you have to do the action, you have to be disciplined, and you have to really work hard on the days that you don't want to work hard. That's when champions are made, is if we all went and we only worked hard at whatever we were doing on the days that we were motivated to, we really wouldn't get anywhere. And that's the thing, is that you need to do the ordinary things day in and day out consistently, and be disciplined to be extraordinary. And that's the take-home message on this, is that yes, it's important to be motivated, but you have to have the discipline day in and day out and do the things that people don't want to do. Well, you know what? You do them, and do them awesome, and then watch where it takes you. It's going to take you very, very far.
Dude, hit the nail on the head, man. That got me pumped up, dude. Because I you know what I thought about? I thought about Jordan, like Michael Jordan. I thought, dude, there's probably days where he was not motivated to go shoot free throws and sit there. Think about the stuff you guys do. There's probably tons of times where you guys are like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. But if you're following us and you are a part of our tribe, dude, chances are you're taking action no matter what, and you're doing things, but you don't always probably feel super motivated just to do it. You don't have to be motivated to just get shit done. You just got to do it. If the Wright brothers sat around after they failed on flight and said, oh, I don't feel motivated to get off and try to take off today, if Leonardo da Vinci didn't want to do his art, if Michelangelo waited around till he was motivated to make the statue of David, dude, none of that shit would even exist. And there's been some really great stuff about how motivation is bullshit. I still think there's times where you need some type of intrinsic, but motivation comes from here, from right here, not from anywhere else. You can watch us, we'll motivate you as best we can, but it comes from within here, baby. You gotta feel it, and you gotta believe it, and you gotta make it happen. We can't do it for you, nobody can. You have to do it, which brings back to the first point. You are responsible for your own motivation, staying disciplined, and taking action, period.
There's plenty of times that I'm not motivated to take a shower, but I still take a shower because I know
thank
I
God.
need to do that. There's times where I'm not motivated to cook a healthy meal, but I still cook a healthy meal because I know that it's going to get me further by being healthy. I could think of 50 million things I'm too tired. I fell asleep on the couch. I don't want to get up and brush my teeth. Well, I'm going to get cavities if I don't do that. So I brush my teeth. Like, you need to toughen up, man up, woman up, and like do the things that other people don't want to do that are just ordinary so that you can progress.
I love it, man.
All right, next point is persistence always wins. And I forgot this quote last time on 38 of the show. And I'm going to say it again and get it right this time. If you are persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. Okay, so I think the persistence thing, it is key, because in order to get things that you want, it's not good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
And I put this in the blog for one of our videos uploaded to our website, the little overview. Good things do not come to those who wait. Good things come to those who go and get them. Okay, you need to be a hustler. You need to be a go-getter. You need to be persistent. You need to not accept no as a final no, you know? And then once you do get to a place where you are crushing it, then you need to be consistent. You need to go back to topic number 3, where, you know, you are disciplined day in and day out so that you can maintain that. And you need to always make sure that you're leveling up and up in the ante, and that you're not doing the same exact thing every single day. Remember, competition's in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror and try to beat who you were previously yesterday.
Yeah, persistence. It's really tough to. It's tough to say you'll be really successful without any type of persistence. I've interviewed a ton of entrepreneurs, and I would say, like, I always ask them this same question: is like, what are 3 core skills entrepreneurs need? And I'm telling you, most of them have included the word be persistent, because you have to be. You just have to be. If you can't dig deep and keep pushing through the no's and the rejection and the shit every single day, like, you won't get there. You just won't. Like, you have to persist. You have to push through. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good all the damn time. And if that's what you're looking for, then, you know what? Go sit in a freaking cubicle, collect your check, and move on with your life. But if you're listening to this, like, I would, chances are our listeners are not, you know, mediocre. So we want you guys to persist through. Like, just think about it. Like, we're all... the book by Seth Godin, The Dip, and I was talking to somebody else about that today. Is like, sometimes you're going along, even when we like feel like we have momentum, sometimes we dip. It's the person who can get through the dip. You're always going to dip. There's going to be dips. Even when you're just crushing it, there will be a dip. Then you got to push back through. Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, Google, whatever you think about, you go ask them every day, they deal with a dip. And they have to push through and be persistent and make it happen.
Right. Yeah, and think about it in terms of health and wellness. Let's say you're new to the gym and you're in there, and like, you know, the first 2 or 3 weeks you're motivated and you're crushing it, but then, damn, you get super sore all of a sudden. The gym isn't fun anymore after 3 or 4 weeks. You're kind of dreading it. You're sore. It's hard to get started. Well, you're never going to get into the best shape of your life if you act like a sissy, you know, and you pout and you feel sorry for yourself, and then you quit the gym, which is what the majority of the people do for New Year's resolution.
I know.
Man up, woman up, toughen up a little bit, for crying out loud. I get so annoyed at
hard.
people's weak mindset. You know, again, if you aren't persistent, you're right, Brian. If you are not persistent, dude, you are going to suck so bad at life. It's not even going to be funny. Now that I think of it, when you were talking about that, like, I thought about Starbucks, how he got denied a bank loan like 200 some times.
It's ridiculous,
like,
dude.
And then look at Starbucks now. It's like, it blows my mind on persistence just how important it is, whether it's in business life or health. I mean, like, it just, if you're not persistent, you can't maintain a level of epicness, like what you said, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day for the rest of your life. You're going to face adversity. So do you persist through that, or do you roll over and just let it beat the crap out of you and then you give up? You know, that's a choice.
That is a choice.
That's your choice to make.
All right, the next one is focus is everything. Okay, guys, you should know this, right? By now, if you've been listening to us for a while, focus stands for what? Follow one course until success. I can tell you that the last entrepreneur that I interviewed, we were talking about this, and he was in the bag industry, like backpacks and things, and he said, I really wanted to get into the clothing line, I really wanted to get into this and that, so he started getting all these things. He started getting unfocused, dude. He almost drove his bag company into bankruptcy because he got out of focus. Like, You have got to stay so focused early on until that thing is freaking a well-oiled machine and it is moving, and then you can maybe go into other verticals. But I hate when people tell me, and these business owners, oh yeah, we're going to be this and this, and we're going to go into all these different places and blah, blah. But you know what? Like, that's all great. I'm happy. I want you to do that and expand. But dude, I would focus and niche down. Riches are in the niches, baby. And you got to focus hard, and you got to make that thing happen. And then you can move on to the next one of focus hard, go. Focus, go, focus, go. You got to stay focused, baby, because focus is key. Focus. Think about I love like watching like old sports clips, you know, where you see these guys, but their eye is on the prize, man. Like they don't. You ever seen that with that inbound where Kobe Bryant's standing there and Harrison, I think it's Harrison Barnes or one of those guys like throws the ball in his face and Kobe just stands there, doesn't even blink, you know. But he's just like, dude, I'm gonna crush you, bro. Like no
and
blink.
That's eye of the tiger.
Nothing. Yeah,
I mean, you got that like killer instinct where you just want to like just put them out of their misery.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But he's so focused on just crushing it, like. There's no waver. You won't waver if you're focused. You won't listen to the white noise. You won't listen to the garbage people will talk about you or say about you. Like, people are so afraid to do stuff because they're so afraid of what others will think or say. But if you are focused on your dream and your goal and your success, dude, whatever anybody else says doesn't matter.
That's right. Benny B, killing it. Next topic is failure is necessary. Now, you may have heard us speak before that it's technically not failure. It's more of a learning experience, but we're just keeping it as failure as far as the text goes. But failure is necessary because what we say here is that you fail forward. You never fail backwards because failure is such a great teacher. It sounds corny to say that, but it's true. Every time something did not go as planned, and it'll continue to happen, it's happened to us with our brand and with our podcast and other things that we're involved with, it's a learning lesson to say, okay, this didn't work. We're going to put it over in this box, and we're going to go over to this box and grab something else out. We're going to readjust, refocus, and try to move forward. So, again, like Brian said, like there will be ups and downs, peaks and valleys along your journey. And, let's say health and wellness. Let's say you're doing really good on your eating, and all of a sudden, I've seen this numerous times before, someone will be in an environment, they'll have a drink, next thing you know, they have a shitty meal. They're feeling bad for themselves, and then they throw everything down the drain. And it's like, dude, whoa, one good meal doesn't make you, and one bad meal doesn't break you. You're okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to fail forward. Like, now you know how you respond in a social setting. Like, you know what to avoid. Don't put yourself in that position. Or the next time you say, you know what, I remember how shitty I felt when they made that bad decision to eat like 20 slices of pizza when I know that I shouldn't have. You make that decision next time. And that, again, that's a choice. Who cares if people are saying, oh, why are you eating so healthy? I used to get that all the time, and it drove me freaking nuts, dude, when people are like, they would be insecure, and I'd like be eating my healthy meal, and all of a sudden, freaking Johnny across the table's, feeling like shit and feeling guilty, and he wants to project that on me. Bro, yeah. I made the decision to eat healthy. You eat whatever the hell you want to eat, okay? That's your choice. I'm going to make my choice. So, if you make a mistake, it's okay, you guys. It's not the end of the world. You can immediately readjust your attitude and refocus, which is what our previous point was.
I saw Mike eat a cookie once, and I was really worried. But then he got back on the bandwagon.
This dude's going into the mental institution now.
I was worried, but Mike hit the nail on the head, baby. Fail fast and fail forward.
There you go.
All right, positivity fuels productivity. Man, I'm telling you, Mike and I'll tell you, like a while back, like we weren't always in the best mental state, were we? Like, dude, I'll be so dead honest, like. There was times where I just felt like the world was ending, none of my business ideas were working, we weren't building this following, all things were happening to us, and I was like so negative, dude, and guess what? I was so freaking less productive because I was complaining, I was bitching, I was moaning, and then I just sat around but dude, I wasn't being productive until I had to change my mindset and be positive, and next thing you know, we're on 40 freaking episodes, productive as hell.
Yep. Crushing it on downloads, which thank you very much for downloading. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we are so grateful for the community and the tribe and the pride that we're building. So, but that's it, man. I mean, just be a positive person. Like, be positive to other people. Bring a positive environment when you come. You're not always going to be like super up and super happy. I get it. Like, things are going to happen. It's life. But always think, like, what's the positive thing that can come out of this? And I always like to say this, like, when I do something wrong or I can't figure something out or whatever, like, I always say this. I always say, like, if it was a negative experience, I always say, well, I'm learning to be better at it. Like, I'm not, I can't, or, oh, man, I suck. I'm always saying, well, I'm learning to do this better or whatever. If I'm trying to build our website and I say, dude, I totally failed at this, but I'm learning, so it's okay, you know? Right. Be positive, even when it's a negative experience. Like, say it in a positive way. It's so much, it really is helpful.
And I am learning so much more, and I know you are too, that our words truly do have power over us. Like, watch what comes out of your mouth. Yeah. Lindsay says this to me, you know, gosh, I read it in the Bible, I read it in my devotionals, that your words truly have power. And at one point in time, Brian and I, some of the stuff that we were involved with was struggling. We were feeling sorry for ourselves, but then, like he said, we switched our mindset and we started speaking so positively over ourselves. Instead of, man, I wish, or I hope it happens, we were saying, when it happens. Yeah. When, W-H-E-N, when it happens. Like, it's already written. We just need to take the action to go and do it. A prime example, and everyone laughs at this, is DJ Khaled. Yeah. Follow DJ Khaled on Snapchat. You want to talk about
Hit us up, Khaled.
I know. Hit us up, DJ Khaled, over in Miami. We see you. 305, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull. But DJ Khaled, he speaks so positively over himself, and he's such a positive speaker, and he really creates this awesome environment. Yeah, you know, a positive vibe, environment of winning, and there's no negativity involved, and he's creating this own positive atmosphere for him, and I love that.
Yeah.
This one is me?
Yeah.
Next. Yeah. Next topic is you must believe you can. One thing that Brian and I always talk about, and it's so funny, is you need to drink your own Kool-Aid. Okay?
Yeah, you
now
do.
We've heard stories of like these cults in the past about how like some dude like gets everyone to believe what he's saying, and he gets them to drink the liquid potion, and then they all die. Okay? Like that literally happened. You know, we're not saying do that. But we're saying, like, truly believe in what you offer, truly believe in your value and what you bring to the table. Like, be confident in that. Drink your own Kool-Aid. This podcast and our Unstoppable Pursuit brand as a whole would not be to where it is today unless Brian and I were freaking downing jugs of our own Kool-Aid of, no, we can do this. Like, we bring something interesting to the table. We're going to put a new twist and a spin on this brand as a whole. We had to drink our own Kool-Aid. We talk about that.
Yeah, it's true. And like a perfect example is an entrepreneur started from, he has a company called Sick Cups, SICCUPS. You guys want to check it out. They're just killing it right now. But I asked him, I said, did anybody ever tell you had like a stupid idea, or this was silly? Because I'm just a cup salesman now, you know, and he jokes about it. But yeah, like he drinks his own Kool-Aid so much.
Out of his own cups?
Out of his own cups. But he had a friend. He had one of his best friends. It was him, his co-founder, and this other guy. And they said they were in the garage. They were drinking. And he's like, dude, I just don't get it. I don't get the idea. I don't think it's good. Blah blah blah. And saying all this stuff. And the guy. But he's like, dude, you know what? Just because this guy doesn't have a good experience doesn't mean I can't turn to the next guy and he's going to have the best experience possible. Maybe they haven't tried your product. Maybe they haven't, hung out with you enough. But he didn't care what this guy said. Nobody could deter him. You could tell him right now, dude, like, your product sucks. And he would just think it's funny and be like, dude, no, I know my product's sick. That's why they call it Sick Cups. Get it? So that's where it came from. And he's just like, dude, no, I know we got the best cups on the market, no matter what anybody says. His Kool-Aid is drank out of his own cups. But it really showed me after that interview, like, how strong you have to be mentally when you do something. There's two levels of belief system. There's this I know, like, topical, like, belief system, but then there's this belief system where it's like, I truly know it's going to happen. I believe deeply, so deep in my, like, the perfect example, Rocky, dude. Like, when you think about Sylvester Stallone, And this guy wrote this script.
Yeah.
He put it out there. They're like, dude, you're not acting in this. He goes, I am Rocky. Like, I wrote this for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Either I'm in it or you're not getting it. And he was offered like millions of dollars when he had $0. But you know what? He drank his own freaking Kool-Aid so much, they made freaking 70 freaking Rockies. I don't know, what is there, 7 or 8 of them now? I mean, he's still doing them and he's like 80. shout out to Sly. But dude, but it's true. It's true, dude. But he drank his own Kool-Aid and he crushed it and he made it. You guys, whatever you're doing, drink your own Kool-Aid. Believe so deeply in yourselves. And if you need any belief in you and you need some help, you got this guy and I, the big guy and I, right behind you saying, you can. You can.
Let us be fanboys of you guys.
Yeah, we are. We are your biggest fan. All right. Helping others is a big part of being successful. You know, at the end of the day, I get mentored by tons of people constantly. And this is exactly what Mike and I are doing now. Like, we've been mentored, we've been helped. So now what we want to do is share what we've learned, share back to you, back to our community, back to people who are listening to us. Like, we want to make sure you're successful. Like, if all boats rise together, right? You know, if we can, if we help somebody else be successful, chances are, like, it's going to help us at the end of the day. So make sure that you are always putting that vibe out there and helping others become successful. It'll always come back. It'll always come back to help you. I can tell you right now, I've interviewed probably almost 100 people, very successful people, and they are all like, let me give back. Let me share my story. However I can help you, Brian. Let me do this. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's changed my life. And in turn, like, I just want to relay that information back to you guys, like back to anybody who needs it, because I know how much I've been helped, so now I'm so willing to help others.
Right on. Success is a journey of countless baby steps. And with this, I always say, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. You know, you have to piece things together. Rather than starting your journey and looking at how far you have to go, divide it into mini goals. And we've talked about this before as well. Divide it into manageable chunks that you can bite off, chew, and digest, and then celebrate those small victories along the way. Brian and I, we preach that all the time. When something really amazing happens, we celebrate that. And then we set our next mini goal. We don't think like, I mean, we do think really far into the future. We have short-term goals and long-term goals, but you have to understand that things do happen like in chunks. And we make sure that we're trying our best, I think, to stop and smell the roses, take in the scenery along our small little victories. And I think that's key, you know, that you need to divide it into manageable chunks. Like when you start a business or whatever you start, and you in your head, you know what you want, where you want to be at, where you would consider you are really successful. But the fact of the matter is you obviously can't jump there. We talk about how there is no overnight success, that you need to strategically plan and just divide it into mini goals.
Yeah. And there's a great book by Dr. Leo Marvin called Baby Steps. You ever seen the movie What About Bob?
I haven't, no.
What?
No.
With Bill Murray? Oh my God. I just made a joke and nobody got it. All right. Damn, I feel embarrassed. No,
I'll have to check it out.
All right, no. There's a movie called What About Bob? If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. And and Bob is a hypochondriac. He believes he has all these diseases, and basically he writes this book, the Dr. Leo Marvin. He gives it to Bill Murray, who's Bob, and he's like, baby steps. It's called Baby Steps. Baby steps out of the office. Baby steps to the elevator.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm laughing at my own jokes. All right, let's get into the challenge now, because it's just I'm done. All right, the challenge that I want to do is the point number 2 is you don't have to invent the wheel. I have a ton of my friends, a ton of people in our tribe who say they want to start something, who say they want to do this, and then they go, oh, somebody else is already doing that. Somebody else. If Mike and I sat around and said, man, there's a million podcasts or a million YouTube shows, we would never be on 40 episodes and pushing ourselves every day. So to me, it's just, you guys don't have to. You just have to work really hard and really care about what you're doing and put time and effort into it. And you never know where it's going to go. You may fail, but you'll learn so much. Like, dude, I want people to start, and that's all it is. Like, I just have so many friends that have so many dreams and aspirations, and they always tell me, look, I'm 30. Like, 30's not the new frickin' 20 anymore. Like, make your move. Make your frickin' move. Whether people are doing it or not, you are different. You are a unique person. Like, we're all imperfectly perfect. We're all unique, unrepeatable people. So whatever you do is going to be different than what anybody else is doing because you are a unique individual. So please just start. Like, you don't have to invent the wheel. You just have to be you and put your own spin on it and push yourself as hard as you possibly can and believe right here, like so deeply that you're going to do it. Because I know Mike and I do. We sit around and we believe in ourselves. I mean, I can't believe how, like, it sounds like narcissistic or something, but it's like I believe in myself so insanely much, like nobody's going to touch us at this point. Right. Nobody. Like, right. I don't care who you are. Like, I'm going places where nobody else has been. Like, I mean, I have so much faith in that, and I want you guys to have that same belief. Like, it's so, so, so important. So just start. Just take action. Idea, action, execution.
And Brian always texts me randomly, and he'll just shoot me a text that just says, it's our turn. It's our turn. And he says, it's never 100% the right time. You just need to say, you know what, it's my turn. So we're telling you guys that are watching and listening, it's your turn. It's your turn. And you know what? It's our turn. And it's everyone's turn. Yeah. Like, go and do what you need to do and do it now. Don't wait.
Yeah, take your turn. Don't wait for somebody to call on you. Just take your turn. It's when the teacher says, hey, does anybody want to do this? You step up in that leadership position and you do it. Take your freaking turn. It is your turn. Right. Period. Oh, I'm going to get frustrated here. Sorry.
We'll save that for episode 40. When Brian goes off on a rant and breaks all the glass in the room that we're sitting in right now. So as far as the health tip goes, actually, I told Brian I was actually kind of in a mental rut. I was having a hard time thinking about more health and wellness tips, believe it or not. And then I remembered, I wrote a daily devotional book that has 182 health and wellness tips in it and 184 motivational pieces. So I'm going to start reading my fitness tips directly out of my book. And my fitness and health tip for today's episode is that you need to eat the whole egg. The days of eating only egg whites are over. The whole egg is what I consider to be a superfood that our bodies can benefit from. And eating the whole egg, research now has shown that it does not increase your cholesterol. It actually balances it out to a better ratio. The yolk supplies us with necessary fat along with vitamins, minerals, and powerful nutrients. Think about this. How could a single fertilized cell develop into a full-grown chicken? Leave nature as it was intended. Enjoy this wonderful food daily. Eat the whole egg.
Not the shell. All right.
Yeah.
You forgot to add disclaimer.
Disclaimer at the bottom.
I was going to go home and just swallow an egg. All right. Funny. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you so much. We are so grateful. Please, please, please comment, like, share, subscribe, rate, and review. We are everywhere. We are a brand. We are a brand that's pushing the limits in business, life, and health. We are more than a podcast. We are a YouTube show. We're an Instagram. Check our website out. Sign up for our newsletter. I promise we are not spam. You get a 1 email a week on some really, really great information like Mike has. It's free. You get part of the community. We want you to just come with us. Join the Lion's Pride. Join the unstoppable pursuit. We're going to help you guys get there and push the limits in business, life, and health. And we love you, and we are so grateful for everything you guys do. And we want you to crush it. Just crush it, baby. Just crush it. And we will see you all on the next episode.